Okay, so the topic of today is really why does no one talk about Case Closed? And I'm not really gonna talk about. See, I used to watch. It's first of all, I used to watch Dub when I started because Dragon Ball Z on Cartoon Network, and I had a VCR, and we used to have the tapes, and that's where I first started watching anime and Yu Yu Hakusho as well. Those were my first two animes that I watched, and the thing about it is, when I used to watch it, I was like, wait a minute, people really watch anime in like Japanese? You just like comfortable just reading it like that, and that's how I've been like even throughout high school. But as I got older, when I was watching One Piece, then the dub ended, but the sub was way much further, so I just started watching sub, and I was like, wow, they put a lot of emotion in the sub, so let me try it for other shows, and I just started watching sub more. But Case Closed is one of those where I accidentally watched the dub first, but the voice actor for the dub, I think he sounds way much better and than the guy for the sub. The guy for the sub kind of sounds like very itchy. It's like not bad, but just tiresome in my opinion. But one of the things about Case Closed is, I mean, it's still an ongoing series. Don't get me wrong, and I'm pretty sure there's some people that like it, but I never hear anyone talk about Case Closed like that. But one thing about the dub for Case Closed, or I mean, or just Case Closed entirely, it was a very great series. And if I would have really liked the sub, I would have kept going. But I'm a big fan of Scooby Doo. Not to get off topic again, but I'm a big fan of Scooby Doo. Like when it comes to like mystery or like who done it, Case Closed takes you on this adventure of Jimmy Kudo, who is a 17-year-old trying to be he's going to be a detective. His mom's a movie star and his dad is a very famous author. So he has very famous parents and he's in high school right now. And there's one time when he caught some guys trying to do something. They fed him this pill that turned him into a kid. And even though he turned into a kid, he still kept like all his intellect. So he was on the road to becoming like the great one of the greatest detectives. I forgot to mention that he wasn't just like no scrub. Don't get me wrong. And he turned into a kid, and the girl, his best friend, I can't fucking remember her name, uh, but I'm gonna probably put it down. I'm gonna go search it up and probably put it down somewhere. But her father is a detective, and Jimmy kind of he gets adopted by them, and he kind of helps her father like solve case because he's a scrub. He's a trash detective, and what book Jimmy Kudo does, he puts Rachel. He puts Rachel's father asleep, and see, I remember it because I've been watching it a long time. But he puts her father to sleep, and when she goes to sleep, he basically excuse me, he basically puts this voice modifier on, which sounds like her father exactly, and they call him the slippery sleuth, like the sleepy sleuth, because he's always sleeping and solving cases. So every time when Jimmy finds out like, oh, who done it or what's the mystery, like what happened, like or who killed who, he puts Rachel's father asleep and then use the voice monitor, and that's how Rachel's father started to get like a little more notoriety and shit like that. But he never really solved the case on his own. Well, I don't think he did. I probably figured that he did, like in the further installments, but from what I watched, he never did. But one of the greatest things about the show is just how Jimmy solves cases, and it actually breaks it down. It's just not like, oh, he pulled it out his ass or anything, or it's just plot armor. It shows you all the details of how the guy particularly like if you love detectives and like sci-fi shit, you would really love the Case Closed. I promise you that, because it's really interesting, because every episode is different. Not every case. Like, I'm pretty sure the dub has like about 170, maybe 100 plus episodes, but every case felt different from the other, and even the movies fucking went hard. When um Conan had, I I never even use his name, but when Conan had to use that's his name when he's a kid. Jimmy Kudo when he's a kid, everyone calls him Conan. But when Conan is in Europe and he's figuring out the Jack the Ripper case, and he actually pointed out who it is, tough, bro. It's just a lot of great, and the movies were fire. I put them on very one of them on my two, maybe two of them on my top 10 favorite anime movies that I want to do one day as a topic. But just from that, it's a wonderful series. You got Conan solving case after case that never feel like they're the same. I remember one time there was one when a guy, it was fucking hilarious. He put a hit on himself, but then because he thought that, I think his family didn't love him, and he didn't have any more family, and then out of nowhere he found out he did have family that just didn't know about him. And then he tries to call out the hit, but the hitman already got the bread, bro. He has to carry out the mission, and he said that's just his principle. So then Conan is they're trying to figure out, oh, so the old man hires Rachel's father to figure out who the hitman is to call off the hit, because he can't contact him pretty much. And then after that, there's a tour guide around like this sanctuary that the grandpa works at. I mean, lives at. And then the tour guide is like helping Conan, Rachel, and her father like around and showing them like the like forest and shit, and the different animals and parts of the sanctuary. And the the guy that's showing around the sanctuary. He looks very old as well. And then it turned out that he was the hitman. He shot, and then Conan saved the old man. And then when they got back to the sanctuary, because they were out in the forest, all of them, there was an avalanche before that, and when the avalanche came down, they seen the tour guide. The tour guide he was booking it fast. And then Conan remembered that. He remembered seeing that. And then when they got back to the sanctuary, Conan was like, put Rachel's father to sleep, and he's like, the tour guide is the hitman, because what old man is up and running that fast and being that agile? And I was like, yeah, I seen that shit too. And that's just the beauty of it. But I really don't understand why Case Closed isn't talked about. Like, yes, I put it down because I wasn't, the sub is just not me, but dude, if you ever like mysteries or like crime solving, this is one of the best anime that has to do with that. Death Note, of course, is on there because with light, but with Conan solving case after case, and these aren't just like dumb criminals. There's like smart ways, like how they implicate their plans into like killing someone, and Conan, like how he figures it out like piece by piece. You see him looking at different items and stuff. Then he puts Rachel's father to sleep, and then he just solves it and lets the dude know it's you, bro. It's a wonderful series, and if you're seeing this video, like, please check it out. Just the dub, like, see if you like it. I really did. I just gave it a chance, and I was like, yo, why is this not one of the better animes? If you could like the sub, I'm pretty sure they're still going right now, and they're still pretty going hard. But as long for the longevity, I gotta give it to them. So they must really have a fan base, but I just don't know who talks about Detective Conan, or Case Closed, if you want to call it. That's so crazy. I forgot his name. It was Conan. Cause I don't know. I really like the name Jimmy Kudo, and I always called it Case Closed. I never called the title Detective Conan, how some people want to use. But that's really just been the video. I'm watching Solo Leveling tonight, and then I'm gonna make a review, and then I got a One Piece manga I gotta read. It's getting fired with Loki, but hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please give Case Closed a chance. If not, fuck it, why not? Just wanted to throw that little noggin out there and make this video. But like, share, comment, subscribe, and yeah.